Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talk. Hope everybody's having a great week. It is Monday morning, and got a good video for you guys today that I think a lot of people should put a little thought into. This is based off of some mistakes that I've made in the past, and it's also based off of a comment that I just had when someone had asked me what's wrong with putting silver in paper rolls. So I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that today, and a lot of it has to do with preserving your money. A lot of it has to do with just things that people need to think about. One of them being a huge mistake that I have talked about very little on the channel. However, a couple members who are really close to me know what happened, and they were like, dude, you should have known better. And I was like, I didn't think about it. I never thought that would happen. So today, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please help me out by hitting that thumbs up button and learn from somebody else's mistakes, because I can tell you this, I would rather learn from someone else's mistakes than make them myself. So, and if you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Let me know if you've ever made a drastic silver mistake. So, right off the bat, I got to address the first question that kind of made me decide to talk about this today, because there's not really a lot going on in the silver market right now. All attention is on crypto. All attention is on the turning over this administration. And we've got some numbers coming out this month. But until then, there's not really a whole lot to talk about. So what happened? So I'm going to tell you guys right now, keeping silver in paper rolls. Now, what a paper roll means is a green, dimes would be in a green wrapper, paper wrapper, almost like you would keep your junk change in. Reason I had said don't do that is because I was cleaning out my house, as I have been downsizing. A bunch of rolls of quarters and $50 that were all full of silver got redistributed, I guess you can call it. That's actually how one member pretty much put it. Think of the good that you did for somebody. Think of the smile you put on their face when they open up those rolls and find silver. And I said, I hope that is the case. If that's the case, I can rest assured that I guess something good came out of it. But I can tell you it stung to have lost a bunch of silver $50 and silver quarters for $10 a roll on them. Now, if they're in plastic, you know right off. You see it. You can hold it. You see it. You know right off that it is silver. If it's in a paper roll, it could have just been you cashed them in. I had a lot of quarters. Some of y'all that have been following the channel for a while remember when we were hunting quarters, when we were hunting $50. I mean, I ended up doing $50,000 in $50 at one time for a video. Some of y'all remember when we did that big event and we were opening up nonstop, literally nonstop live stream of just $50. And it was kind of crazy. A lot of that, the bank that I got it from, they're like, we can only sell you $6,000 a week because we've got to order that, and they had to pay to ship that in. And the reason that I had done it was because I had just liquidated the majority of my real estate holdings. I had sold one of my houses, and it was almost my last house, I guess you can say. I only have two now. But at the time, I had a bunch, and I had sold, and I said, you know what, I want to just hunt. And the reason I hunted was one of the boxes that I had opened up, and I ended up shooting it live, so there was no questions of, is this real? I had pulled 109 silver $50. And we're not talking 40%. We're talking 90%. There was Benjamins. There was Walkers. It was point blank a collection dump. And so that was a huge thing. And a lot of times when you buy that much, you don't take it all back. Because I can tell you, the lady that I was getting it from did not want it all back. She said, take it somewhere else. Get rid of it some other way. Don't bring it here. So it was kind of a big thing. And I guess, I just thought it was some leftover stuff. It got thrown in and taken to the bank. And the reason the quarters happened was because at the time, too, shortly after that, we were doing the W quarter hunts. For those of you that don't know, they made $1 million Well, they made 2 million W quarters of each quarter for 2 years in a row, and they were just in the rolls. You could find them easy. And so it was a lot of looking through quarters, and it was a little devastating. It was a mistake. But it's not just that you would want to worry about that. It's also because a certain day will come where you may pass away. Well, it's pretty much inevitable you will pass away at some point. And when that day comes, your family comes in your house, and they go through your stuff, wherever you keep it, your storage unit, your house, whatever, and they say, what the heck was he doing saving quarters? And was he just saving change because he had too much money or what? You know, I don't want to see somebody's family. I mean, y'all are stackers. You guys are stacking precious metals for your family. You know there's a possibility you won't cash it in. You may end up keeping it until you go before your precious metals. And if that happens, someone is going to be going through your stuff. And I want to make my, I guess when that day comes, passing as easy on whoever's cleaning up my estate as possible. And so I think it's important that people, and I've talked about wills in the past, not too long ago, on how, why you should have a will, or what that you should talk to somebody, have at least one person that you trust. Everybody needs one person that they can go to and literally have a plan in place. It's a topic that unfortunately nobody ever wants to talk about. And they don't want to talk about it because, one, they don't want someone thinking, man, I can't wait till he goes. That way I can get all of his coins. Or something like that. You don't want that to be a possibility. Or you don't want to deal with the drama of who's going to get what. You know, it's interesting because Warren Buffett just mentioned it previously, and he said, I want to make sure I leave my kids enough to where they can do anything they want, but not enough where they don't have to do anything, where they don't do nothing, I guess you can say. He don't want his kids doing nothing, but he wants them doing something that they enjoy, and that's why he's leaving a certain amount to them. And he had said that a lot of people don't want to talk about wills. They don't want to talk about what's going to happen when they go. Some people don't even want to put it out there. I mean, I'm not nervous to put it out there. I should be right now, but I'm not. Because I don't think that really, me saying people should be prepared and I should be prepared. Do I have my ducks in a row? I do have my ducks in a row. But it doesn't mean I'm eager to go. It just means I have my ducks in a row because I know it's inevitable. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, it could happen years, whenever. Who knows? A lot of people just don't, I'll say, they don't tell anybody, and that somebody that gets it just doesn't have the knowledge. They don't have any knowledge about it. They have not talked about it. So I actually have one buddy that he said his grandfather is a hardcore prepper, but he's never heard him talk about silver. Now, that doesn't mean that he doesn't know about silver. It doesn't mean that he doesn't have silver. It just means he's never heard him talk about it. I've had people tell me, why don't more people talk about this? Well, the truth of the matter is because very few people are involved in precious metals and very few know about it. And there's a possibility that when you go, whoever gets your collection is not going to know what the deal is. Oh, look at these cool little flag pieces of metal. Oh, those are so cool, aren't they? Oh, wow, those are cool. I'll give you $5 a piece for them. Oh, okay. That's cool. What do I want them for? I've got a bunch of them, People don't know. They don't understand that this is money. And because of that, a lot of times collections go to Coinstars. They get cashed in at banks. They get sold at yard sales. They get taken to the pawn shop. And let's be honest. Someone finds this roll of dimes and doesn't really know anything about it. They're thinking a $5 roll of dimes. They might take it to a pawn shop and say, hey, some of these look a little older. Is there anything special about them? That are they worth anything or what? Oh, they're worth a little bit more. I can give you $25 a roll for them. They're just old coins. They're nothing special. That will happen. There are people out there that lick their chops when they have an opportunity to burn someone to put money in their pocket. And it's sad that that happens, but it does happen. And that's why I always say you need to be prepared. Now, another little tip I always say, have your stack in different locations. There was actually a YouTuber probably about 2 years ago that he was well known, and he publicized himself on YouTube. He publicized himself in town. Everybody knew who he was. He wasn't secretive at all. And he had everything at his house, all in one spot. And you can only imagine what happened. Eventually, bye-bye. Another story I just watched not too long ago was about safes. How some people will break open safes. How they'll tip them over and then they'll use like an extension pry bar. And they literally can pry them open. Now, I know some safes are heavy. Some safes are bolted to the floor. But the best thing is just don't tell people. Now, I know I don't practice that, obviously. But I also don't keep anything in my house. If someone follows me home, I'm not really super worried about it. Obviously, I don't want to lose like my TV or my computer or stuff like that. But I mean, you have to have a certain amount of security. And it's funny because another comment that I got yesterday was, it was basically, when I tell people about silver, I usually just tell them it's expensive. And that I don't have a whole lot of money to be buying much. And I think that's a good comment because I tell people it's important that, people know. We want to get the message out. The more people that learn about silver, the better. But that can just be as simple as posting a video on Facebook and saying, hey, what does anybody think of this? Do you think this guy's nuts when he talks about gold and silver? What are your thoughts? And hey, hopefully you're sharing one of my videos. But, it's interesting when that happens because, you don't want to get the message. You don't want to let anybody know what you have. But on the flip side, you want your loved ones to, or a loved one to know. So it's kind of a fine line there on how you do it. That's why I tell people don't keep everything in one spot. That's one of the things I do practice. And because if something happens to one location, obviously I don't lose everything. With that being said, it's not a long video. I've actually got a lot going on, so it's going to be kind of a short video today. I just kind of wanted to talk about that. It answered a couple comments. It addressed something that a lot of people can make that mistake. And actually, it was kind of funny because someone in Texas did a video where they had gotten a ton of rolls of $50, and a couple of people that knew me and knew what happened, they sent me that short video. Look at all these silver $50 someone just got. But with that being said, I'm going to wrap up here. A short video today, and it's Monday, so usually videos on Mondays don't do well anyway. So I thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it gave you something to think about. If you've got your coins in paper wrappers, I'd be very careful about that. So with that being said, y'all have a great day and take care and have a great week. Bye-bye.